Good evening everyone, welcome back to another part of my Let's Play of Steins here, courtesy of the old PC Steam. For those of you who have been here before for the likes of other parts of this game, Danganronpa V3, Song of Memories, Persona 5 Royal, Revelations Persona, Persona 3 FES, Final Fantasy 7, and God knows how many more. All you people out there who have been here multiple times, thank you very much and a huge welcome back to all of you. If you've not seen these streams before and you're checking them out for the first time, welcome. The chat box is open. We'll do what we can to get through as many comments as possible. But well, last time, before we go any further, I just want to address a quick elephant in the room. And it's to do with the last part of the stream. For those of you who didn't watch live, if you're curious as to why the last stream had a 18 plus rating, it's because the final 20 or so minutes dealt with subject matter which makes it I have to restrict the video, and it wasn't very comfortable to watch. And I still want to say again, I wholeheartedly apologise for anyone who found that distressing. I had no idea it was coming, and I hope to God that it goes somewhere and we don't see anything like that again for the remainder of this playthrough. Jumping in on the chat box already, Arista Jack jumping in saying good evening, how are we all doing, and are we looking forward to the 24-hour live stream? Oh yes, yes we are indeed. Saturday 8 PM BST, and for those of you who are interested in finding out how much money I've got, or if you do want to actually support the stream, I am going to put a brief link to the channel, to the page in the chat box for you all to check out. You can all do that. Also, evening to Queen as well, who has just been answering the question by Arista Jack, saying, yes, she is. And again, it might be the game's fault, but still, I feel it's my duty to apologise. Also, Avian jumping in saying, hi, good evening to you, welcome back to the stream. I say, the link that I put in the chat box, that's my actual fundraising page. You want to check out where I'm up to, and if you feel like dumping a donation in early, feel free, go ahead. Otherwise, there it is, just to give you an idea. We're not far away from the target I set already, so I'm hoping to absolutely smash it. And one thing I will say is that on the stream, I am going to be doing costume changes. I'm not going to stay in one cosplay. I've still got to work out the splash screen for that, but I'm going to make it possible. For now, let's get back into Steins Gate. Enough about me. How much time has passed? It feels like it's already been dozens of hours. Well, with the amount of shots to the head and God knows what else you got up to there, I'm not surprised, Okabe. But it's still night outside, so it probably hasn't been more than 1 or 2. Oh. I guess we're not done yet, people. Once again, I apologise. Maybe I should choose the age restriction on this. We will see. Moeka hasn't said a word since. Not reading that third part out. It fucking creeped me out. She hasn't tried to escape either. Her expression is blank. She's just staring off to the side. What is she looking at? I follow her gaze, but the only thing there is a half-empty bottle of water. Has she given up? Either way, I can't let my guard down. Maybe it's the stress, but it feels like my body is going numb. Why are we zooming in on that? Why? Just why? And I've been drenched in sweat for a while now. This room has no air conditioning whatsoever. The heat is starting to get to me, yet only just getting to him despite everything that's happened. Yeah, whatever. Just let's get this scene over with. I thought I had an overwhelming advantage in this position, but it's harder to maintain than I expected. I wouldn't know, and I don't want to. Not only do I have to keep Moeka pinned, I also have to keep a close eye on her so she doesn't try anything. All Moeka has to do is lie there. She can rest and try again whenever she's ready. Will this last all night? At this rate, my strength might give out first. Fear mounts. If she escapes, she's going to try to kill me. She must have a gun somewhere, I'm sure. I consider calling Karisu for help, but I can't use either hand, and I don't even know what time it is. Damn, it's like I'm almost like I'm the one trapped. No, stay positive. Arista Jack, let's just say that this scene right now is the tip of the iceberg. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any more. I'm leaving that in the black hole of 18 plus. Fortunately, I've not received any content to say that I've violated any rules, so fingers tightly crossed that that stays that way. You can do this. Moeka's dependent on her phone. That's her weak point. If I keep her separated from it, then sooner or later, her will to resist should collapse. It's a matter of whose strength will fail first. Okabe-kun. Suddenly, Moeka calls my name. What do I have to do? Now she's trying to ask nicely. Does this mean she's given up? This is what I was waiting for. Oh no. I'm not reading that line. Do you remember sending a D-mail? A D... What?
D-mail.
D-mail. An email that you sent to the past. You sent one to your own phone. You led me to think it was about a phone model exchange, but you changed the text before you sent it. Her typing speed is lightning fast. It would have been easy for her to type a mere 36 characters while Daru and I were preoccupied with the phone wave. Name subject to change. Your D-mail changed the past. Don't you remember? Normally, once the past changes, everything until that point is undone. But it should be possible to make Moeka remember, just as Furis and Lukako did. I don't know. You do know. You just haven't remembered yet. Remember. Remember. Or else. Or else what? I don't know. This is just a tactic to put pressure on Moeka. I have another plan to make her remember. I don't want to know what your plan is. Based off what happened on the last stream, I really don't want to describe it. Moeka turns away and bites her lip. Tears start falling from her eyes. I watch, never once taking my eyes off her. You say, is it just me, or does this guy sound like the biggest douchebag in the world? It's like, ugh, this is horrible. This is a part that I really don't like voicing. So apologies if this is not quite as entertaining and mirthful as usual. I don't think it'd be very appropriate to be dropping jokes here. No, not reading it out. Nope. Nope. Her breasts heave with each painful breath. The base of her neck is stained with the blood from my lip. It's dry, like a scab. Normally, Moeka could be mistaken for an elegant, beautiful woman. But now she has large shadows under her eyes. Her skin is rough. Her face is pale. She looks more intoxicated than intoxicating. Her entire body reeks of death. She's clearly insane. This is the real Moeka. I wish I'd realised sooner. You can hide behind Queen, but that won't save you from just Monica. Just Monica. She knows you're there. She's talking to you. She's fascinated by you, Arista Jack. It's interesting, Queen, you say that you can't come to Okabe's defence here, but you're more angry at the script writers of the game. I mean, ultimately, yeah, the writers are the ones who are at fault, you're not wrong. Again, I shouldn't be chuckling, I really shouldn't, but I can't. I have that kind of uneasy chuckle. It's like, I don't know whether to chuckle or start raging, and I'm trying to stop raging. We saw enough of that last time. I really don't know. If I could remember, I would. But I don't remember anything. Moeka's gaze shifts constantly, from me to the ceiling and then to the window. But her slow murmuring is evidence that she's almost beat. Just a little more, and her resistance will end. Fine. I'll change the question. You received a strange email about 2 weeks ago. Huh?
差出人はお前自身の携帯。しかもそのメールは数日後の未来から送信されていた。
It came from your own number, and it was dated several days in the future. Moeka's eyes open wide. Gotcha.
覚えがあるな。それがお前が送った D メールだ。
You remember? Good. That was the D-mail.
内容を教えろ。
What did it say?
教えたら
If I tell you,
携帯は返す。
I'll return your phone.
クソ
Fuck you! She suddenly curses at me.
内容は言えない
I won't tell you! Now suddenly, see, Moeka's meant to be the antagonist here, and I'm here in the corner going, yes, you fucking show that cunt. That's exactly how I feel. That's how much the writers have screwed this scene up. Not that I had much sympathy for Okabe in the first place, but it's all gone now, it's evaporated. Worse than the heat in my coffee, which is going to taste minging because I've not been drinking it consistently enough.
なぜだ
Why not?
ラウンダーに関係する
It's my mission. Her mission? I recall what Moeka told me on a previous worldline. The Rounder's mission is to find and acquire IBN 5100s. In that case,
IBN 5100
the IBN 5100. She fell into my trap. Her reflexive response was all I needed to see.
それに関することだな。
It was about the IBN 5100.
どこまで知っているメールの内容
How much do you know?
質問をするのは俺だけだ。いいから答えろ。
I'm asking the questions here. Just answer.
言えない
I can't.
FB を裏切ることに
I won't betray FB. And I don't think that stands for Facebook either. I know it's an old joke, but I'm trying to break the tension here.
携帯よりも FB を選ぶのか。大した忠誠心だな。
So you're choosing FB over your phone? How loyal. But Mayuri's fate hangs in the balance. I can't give up. Moeka still hasn't calmed down. She's been opening and closing her hands for a while now. She's not trying to escape my restraint. She's just twisting her body, licking her lips, shaking her head, trying to brush the hair off her face. It's like she's suffering from withdrawal without her phone. Is that what the game was going for? Commentary on the whole everyone on the mobile phones tapping apps and uploading to Instagram and YouTube? Wait, that makes me a massive hypocrite, doesn't it? Soon, she won't have the mental fortitude to resist. If she won't talk now, then I'll just wait until she will.
携帯がないとそんなに苦痛か。なぜそこまで依存する？
Is it really that painful to not have your phone? Why are you so dependent on it?
会話まともにできなくて。
I can't talk to people. To be fair, I could totally relate with that. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to have conversations one-to-one. It's like a sense of awkwardness where you're not quite sure what to say or how to say it. It's such an easy trap to fall into. Which is why instead I like to look at cameras and talk into big phones like some kind of wannabe celebrity. Well, some kind of wannabe. Let's cut the second part. The second part's never going to happen. The wannabe, though. I know you agree with me. And stop. Stop agreeing with me on that.
今はしているではないか。
You're talking right now, aren't you? And when she attacked the lab, she was leading a squad of hardened killers. But Moeka shakes her head violently.
寝るまでできなくなったら私は
If I can't use mail, then I'll be
世界から断絶してしまう。
cut off from the world.
世界だと孤独な女を気取っているつもりか。お前が恐れているのはラウンダーから見捨てられることだろう。
What? Are you fishing for sympathy? You're just afraid of being abandoned by the Rounders, aren't you?
違う。ラウンダーじゃなくて FB から見捨てられること。
No, not the Rounders. FB. It's interesting that she didn't deny the existence of the Rounders, though. You notice that? He should only know about the Rounders because of the execution squad. That's the same thing, isn't it?
だったら世界などと言うな。何の罪もない女の子を容赦なく殺した分際でマユリを世界から断絶させた分際で。
Then don't say the world. You're the one who killed an innocent girl. You're the one who erased Mayuri from the world.
殺してない。
I didn't kill her.
そう、この世界線ではな。だが別の世界線においては、お前はラウンダーとして俺たちのタイムマシンを奪おうとした。その時に殺したマユリを。
Not on this worldline, maybe. But on another worldline, you came to steal our time machine. You killed her! You killed Mayuri! On the worldline where I interrogated Moeka, she told me that Mayuri was expendable. It didn't matter to CERN whether she lived or died.
FB の指示なら殺したと思う。絶対に。
If FB told me to, then yes, I killed her.
FB とは何者だ。一体どこにいる。
Who is FB? Where the hell is he? I asked her the same question back then, but another rounder appeared before she could answer. Something tells me she won't have the backup this time. Moeka's position in the rounders has changed.
言えない。
I can't tell you.
ならばいいことを教えてやる。
Then let me tell you something.
いいか。お前は今、俺に捕まっている状況だが、助けを期待しているのなら、無駄だ。
Listen good. If you're holding out for backup, you can forget it.
どうせ誰も助けに来ない。お前は絶望に打ちひしがれたまま、4日後に自殺する。
Nobody's coming to save you. The pain and despair are just going to get worse. And in 4 days, you'll kill yourself. Moeka seems startled by this. I go in for the big shot. I'm not using that word at the end. I don't like using that word.
俺は5日後から来た。セルンが欲しがるタイムマシンを使ってな。だから知っている。
I came here from the future, using the time machine CERN wants so badly. That's how I know.
お前はこの部屋で一人孤独に自分を殺すんだ。
You killed yourself in this room, all alone.
お前の大好きな FB はお前を助けない。ラウンダーもセルも300人委員会もだ。
Your precious FB doesn't save you. No one does. Not the Rounders, not CERN, and not the Committee of 300.
どれだけメールしても上司からの連絡はないんだろう。それはなぜだ。
Your boss hasn't replied to your mails, has he? You know why?
もう見捨てられているんだよ。
Because you've been abandoned. Arista Jack, yes, I completely agree with you. As I say, if you hate him for this, do not, under any circumstances, watch the point I've timestamped in the description of the previous part of this Let's Play. If you hate him now, you will truly despise him for what happens there. Trust me, this is bearable. What happened last time? No fucking chance. Moeka's face contorts in despair. Once again, tears fall from her eyes. Guilt squeezes my heart. I know that I'm causing this woman pain. Inside of me, her voice whispers that it's nothing compared to what she did to Miyuri, that I have no reason to show mercy to a murderer. But at the same time, my conscience screams that it's wrong to hurt someone, no matter who they are or what they've done. Insane mad scientist, my ass. I'm afraid to hurt my mortal enemy. I'm nothing but a hypocrite.
FB をかばう必要はない。だから全て話せ。
FB doesn't deserve your loyalty. Tell me everything. I ignore the ache in my heart and push harder. But Moeka shakes her head violently.
FB は裏切らない。私を見捨てない。
FB wouldn't betray me. FB wouldn't abandon me.
だったらなぜお前は4日後に自殺すると思う。
Then why do you kill yourself in 4 days?
お前が私を殺すのよ。自殺に見せかけて。
She's got very good reasoning there, Moeka. Again, after what happened in the last part, that's definitely a believable story. You kill me and make it look like a suicide.
俺はそんなヘマはしない。俺ならお前を殺した後でタイムリープする。お前の死はなかったことにできる。
I wouldn't need to cover it up if I killed you. I'd just undo your death with my time machine.
私は
FB から返事が来ないと言ってこの部屋で死んだような顔をしていたのはどこのドイツだ。
When I got here, you were sitting in the corner like a limp rag, crying about how FB wouldn't answer. Remember? But
もう何日来ていない。 FB からの連絡は普段はどのくらいの頻度で来ていていつから来なくなった。
how many days has it been? How often did FB contact you before? And when did it stop? I keep the questions coming. Need to pile on the pressure.
普段毎日連絡を
It used to be every day,
でももう10日近く
but it's already been 10 days.
10日も連絡が来ていない。そうだな。
10 days with no contact. Correct? Moeka looks up to me with pleading eyes.
私裏切れないよ
I won't betray FB.
お前は裏切られたんだよ。
FB betrayed you.
FB を信じてる
I believe in FB.
お前は切り捨てられた。
He threw you away.
利用されるだけされてな。もう用済みということだ。
FB used you, and now your usefulness has ended.
FB はそんな人じゃ
FB isn't like that.
だったらどんな人なんだ。
Then what sort of person was he?
お母さんみたいに私
Yep.
優しくて
I was assuming there would be a switch in the pronoun for FB not being a guy. I had a feeling that was coming. She was gentle to me, like a mother.
私はやっと心地いい居場所を
I finally had a place I belonged. Like a mother? FB's a woman? I expected an evil-looking old man like you see in the movies. But I guess I was wrong.
悩みを相談したりいつもすぐに返事くれた
I talked to her about my worries. She always replied right away. 10 days? An FB?
友達みたいでも包み込む優しさがあって
Like a friend, but gentle, accepting.
会ったことは
Have you met her? Moeka shakes her head weakly.
会ったことがない。お母さんみたいで友達みたいでお前にとって心地いい居場所だったのに。
You haven't met? Even though she's like your mother? Your friend? Damn, if they'd met, then I could have gotten Moeka to lead me to her.
ラウンダーは互いの正体隠すのがルールで
Rounders must hide their identities from one another.
連絡は取り合っていたのに一度も会ったことはない。確かに会うのはルール違反かもな。だがお前は FB が好きで会ってみたかった。違うか。
So you've talked, but you've never met. But you must have wanted to meet her, right? Even if it was against the rules.
違うよ
No! No!
会ったら幻滅されるだから会いたいなんて思わない
It would ruin everything if she saw the real me.
会いたいと言われたことは
Did she ever say she wanted to meet you?
一度もないし言ったことも
No, never. And I never asked.
その様子だと電話もしたことがないな。
So no phone calls either, then? Moeka turns away. Then she nods faintly.
避けられているとは思わなかったのか。
Didn't you wonder why?
そこまで親身になってくれた優しい女上司がお前に会おうとしない理由は本当にルールだけか。
Why would such a kind, gentle woman refuse to meet you in person? Was it really just the rules?
そしてなぜ連絡をよこさない？理由を考えてみろ。
And why isn't she returning your emails now? Think about it.
振り込め詐欺と同じだ。お前は騙されていたんだ。
She was using you. You were tricked.
FB を悪く言わないで。そんな人じゃない。
Don't say that! She's not like that!
連絡が途絶える前、最後のメールはどんな内容だった？
What did her last email say before she stopped contacting you?
IBN5100 を指定場所に置いておけ。
Leave the IBN 5100 at the designated location. The IBN 5100? Moeka, you fool. You let your tongue slip. 2 weeks ago, FB told her to leave the IBN 5100 at a drop point. That means she already had it in her possession at that time. I recall how Moeka kept bombarding me with questions about the IBN 5100. I might have let it slip that I found the computer at Yanabayashi Shrine. After that, she sent her D-mail. The worldline changed. The lock was broken on the shrine storehouse door. The IBN 5100 was gone. These facts point to one conclusion. She sent herself the location of the IBN 5100. Now that I know, it seems so obvious. If only I hadn't trusted Moeka. If only I'd seen through her lies. But no, I played right into her hands. I was the tool's tool. Opportunity for a joke there, but I'm not going to take it because it's not really right in context of the scene. I almost burst into self-deriding laughter, but I desperately hold it back and keep a straight face.
その場所はどこだ?
What was the designated location?
コインロッカー、大ビル前の。
The coin locker in front of Daibiru, which is obviously where, on the alternative world line, Lukako left the computer. Lukako being a kind person who talked by the phone, eh? That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. The coin locker in front of Daibiru. Wait, isn't that where Lukako hid the IBN 5100 on the previous world line? Is this another effect of convergence? Can I retrieve the IBN 5100 if I go there now? Well, no, because it's 2 weeks ago, so they've been taken already, surely. That's why she's not been hearing back from FB. FB's got what they need and pissed off. No, I can't expect it to still be there. Remember what happened with Lukako. The invisible force of convergence is keeping the IBN 5100 away from me. If I want to get it back, I need to cancel Moeka's D-mail. I know the message. I've already reached my goal. Moeka starts crying softly. I sigh deeply and lift myself off Moeka's body, and then there's a knee straight to the crown jewels. That's what I'd be doing if I was Moeka. Right in the crown jewels. Then I lean back against the wall and stretch my aching limbs. But no, it appears he's been survived. Now, we've been playing for just over half an hour, so I'm going to do a quick save. Because I really don't want to have a game crash like I had on the previous stream and have to redo all that after all that voice acting. Well, voice. Not sure on the acting part, but voice. I take Moeka's phone out of my pocket.
携帯を使わせてもらうぞ。
I'm using your phone. Moeka slowly gets up, She wipes her tears and fixes her hair and clothes. Her wavy hair obscures her face from this angle, so I can't make out her expression. As I say, no, don't worry, Alistair Jack. You don't have to be inundating the thing with messages. If you're enjoying the scene and you're riveted to find out what's going on, then that's fine. Well, I say riveted because you're enjoying it. You're not. It's because you say it's not as controversial. I don't blame you. There's not really much to say. She doesn't react to what I said. Even though I'm no longer restraining her, she doesn't try to attack me and take back her phone. I open Moeka's mailbox and search for the D-mail. It takes about 3 minutes, but I finally find it. Yep, retro PCs are, and then you've got M4. So that's the code name she goes by. Moeka, M4. 3 mails from Moeka's old phone, each 12 characters long. Sent on August 4th and received on July 31st. Alistair Jack, I have no idea, it's a blind let's play. I don't know if it's cover or not. I really fucking hope so. I really do. I don't want to have to go through this again. Retro PCs at Yanabayashi Shrine. Just as I suspected, Moeka changed her D-mail in the few seconds I had my back turned. All I need to do now is send the cancellation mail. Okabe! You at the lab? Don't worry me like that, idiot. What? Were you worried about me? I mean, you set off an obvious death flag. I'm surprised you're still alive. Where are you now? I'm standing by at the lab. Set up the machine. I'm sending another D-mail. Destination? July 31st, 11 AM. 11 AM on the 31st. While Karisu calculates the hours, I type the email. Do not go, not at Shrine, it's a trap. I address the mail to the phone wave. Name subject to change. Okay, all set. Alright, activate it. Activated. I press the send button. The mail starts sending. And nothing happens. Reading Steins should activate. This time for sure. I brace myself for the incoming vertigo. Well? Nothing. Why won't it change? Another mistake? No, there's no way. I know what Moeka's message said. This D-mail should have cancelled it. Why isn't it working? What the hell's wrong this time? What did the first D-mail say?
柳林神社に IBN5100 があると知らせるものだ。今のメールでそれは罠だと否定したんだが。
That the IBN 5100 was at Yanabayashi Shrine. I tried to cancel it by telling him it's a trap, but it didn't work.
もう一度別の文面で再送を。
I'll try to phrase it differently. Wait, we went through this with the Lotto 6 experiment, remember? The Lotto 6 experiment. I sent myself the winning numbers, but the past me didn't buy the ticket. Instead, he gave the winning numbers to Lukako. The person who reads the D-mail chooses whether to act or not to act accordingly. Kiryu learned that the IBN 5100 was at the shrine, though the cancellation mail came right afterward. I guess she ignored it and went anyway.
否定するメールを信じなかったか。あるいはクソ真面目に否定されても念のために調べてみたか。ということか。
Maybe she didn't believe the cancellation mail. Or maybe she was so diligent she decided to check it out even when told not to. I glance at Moeka. She's still hanging her head, but her tears have run dry. I wonder if she's listening. Damn, even when told it was too risky to go to the shrine, she went anyway.
より強制力の強い文面にするしかない。神社に行くのを禁止させるぐらいの。
We need a more persuasive message. Something that would prevent her from going to the shrine. Like what? That's the problem. Is it possible to persuade her with just 36 bytes of text? Or should we consider other possibilities?
例えば、7月30日のお礼と D メールを送り、先に IBN5100 を回収させるという方法は。
What if I send a D-mail to myself on July 30th? Could I beat her to the IBN 5100?
その日のあんたは IBN5100 に興味があったのか?
Were you even interested in the IBN 5100 then? When did I start caring about the IBN 5100? I can't remember. Fine, that's out. So how do I convince Moeka to listen? At that moment, an electric shock runs through my brain. 2 initials.
FB だ。
FB.
何?
What?
萌香の上司、依存の対象。FB からのメールなら無条件で信じるはず。
Moeka's handler. She's obsessed with FB. If the mail comes from FB, she'll do whatever it says.
その FB とかいう人の携帯持ってるの?
Do you have FB's phone?
いいや。会ったことさえない。どこにいるかもわからない。
No, they haven't even met. We don't know where FB is.
話にならない。
Then there's nothing we can do. Well, actually, there is one thing you can do. You can go and stake out the coin locker outside Daibiru. Because surely you'll see someone hanging around there a lot, choosing a particular point where to drop it off. Someone who knows the alleyway in and out to ensure they're not being followed when they're carrying an incredibly heavy computer. It's just a thought.
少し時間をくれ。
Give me a little time.
また待たせるのか? 私はずっとラボに泊まり込んでるからいいけど。
Gonna make me wait again? Well, I've been pulling all-nighters recently, so whatever.
あんまり無茶しないでね。
Just don't do anything stupid, okay? So even after prying answers out of Moeka, there's still more work to be done. Fate really seems to love getting in my way. That's because you mess with fate, my friend. You fuck with time, time fucks with you. Alright, to break out of this worldline, I need FB's identity and location. I call Moeka's name. When she finally looks up, I drop her phone onto her lap. She accepts it with a confused expression.
FB を探すことになった。
Looks like we're searching for FB now. Moeka grips her phone, but she doesn't look at the screen. I sigh deeply. I need to get as much information on FB out of her as I can.
お前はどういう経緯でラウンダーに?
How exactly did you become a rounder? Honestly, I couldn't care less. I hate having to stand here and talk with the woman who killed Mayuri. Hugging her phone to her chest, Moeka retrieves her glasses and puts them back on.
4年前死のうとしてた。
4 years ago, I tried to kill myself. Her voice is a barely audible whisper. I was about to say fairly then, I'm like, fairly? No, that's not right. For a moment, I'm surprised she's not talking by mail.
何の希望も持てなくて 何もかもが嫌になって。
I had no hope. I wanted to get away from everything.
原因は
Why?
特にこれっていうのは
No big reason. Her expression is blank, lifeless, like always. But behind her glasses, her eyes are red from crying. Well, no, technically they're red already, aren't they? They've been like that for the entire game. Sorry, I can't help being that guy, people. I'm sorry? They're the only trace of emotion on her doll-like face.
小さなことがたくさん積み重なって
Little things. Lots of little things piled up.
もともとこんな性格だし
I've always been like this.
家族は
And your family? Moeka shakes her head a little. She has none, I guess. So, do what makes me feel comfortable. Well, you have to be careful. What you find comfortable, people can find uncomfortable. It's like the use of certain language. There's some words that people use and you're just like, why did you say that? Oh. Shit. And it's going to be worse on Saturday. Oh, shit. Oh, actually, that's an excellent call, Queen. That is an excellent call. And yes, I did it again. No, I'm too stubborn not to finish my coffee. It's going to be drank. It's going to get worse. That's just the way it is. It's a train wreck. It's my streams. You've been here long enough. I don't bother asking whether she ever had parents. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it kind of does, Okabe, you dick.
自分の部屋で睡眠薬大量に飲んで
I locked myself in my room and overdosed on sleeping pills.
でも死ぬのを失敗して
But I didn't die.
そこにメールが
Afterwards, I got a mail.
ラウンダー募集って個人宛てじゃなくて一斉送信の
Recruiting rounders, it said. It was sent to hundreds of people, not just me. Isn't that spam? Do the rounders really recruit like that?
私はどうでもよくなってた。だから気づいたら返信してた。
Nothing mattered anymore. So on a whim, I replied.
そしたら連絡が来たの。FP から。
And then, FB contacted me.
それからずっと FB の指示に従ってた。
Ever since, I've followed FB's orders.
ずっとこの秋葉に
Were you always stationed in Okuba? Moeka shakes her head.
3ヶ月前まで名古屋、その前は横浜、その前は
Until 3 months ago, I was in Nagoya. Before that, Yokohama. Before that... The Rounder's chief duty is to acquire IBM 5100s. I guess they had her travelling all over Japan, digging up info on retro PCs. Well, from my experiences in Yokohama, you're not going to find them there. It's a beautiful place, Yokohama, though. It's a really nice port place. By night, it's absolutely gorgeous. Some good clubs there as well, as in, like, venues for bands.
これまでに IBN5100 をいくつ見つけた
Suck it in, people. Suck it in. How many IBN 5100s have you found so far?
一台も
Not even one. No results? It sounds like CERN is spending a lot of effort for not much return. I sighed deeply once again.
お前はこの後どうするつもりだ。ただ絶望に打ちひしがれて予定通り自殺するか。
So what now? Are you going to sit here, wallowing in despair until you kill yourself 4 days from now?
抗おうとは思わないのか。
Or do you want to rebel against fate?
抗う
Rebel? Even as I asked the question, I know that for her, rebellion is impossible. This worldline has already approved her death. She's in the same situation as Mayuri. No matter what she does, she will die. I know that. And yet I ask the question.
FB はお前を利用し見捨てた。それを認めろ。その上で FB に対してどうしたいと考えているんだ。
FB used you and threw you away. Accept it. And then ask yourself what you're gonna do about it. Moeka looks down.
利用されていたとしても
Even if FB did use me,
私の居場所そこしかなかったから
that was the only place I belonged.
初めてだった生きてきた中で自分が必要とされたこと
That was the first time in my entire life that I was needed.
FB が居場所を与えてくれたの私に
FB gave me purpose.
その居場所を守るためなら生きがいを与えてくれた FB を守るためなら
To protect that purpose. To protect FB.
何だってする
I would do anything.
お前は救いようのないバカだ。
You're beyond hope. I stand up.
だったら依存したまま死んでいけ。お前の死は確定している。
Drown in your dependence for all I care. Your death has already been decided.
だが俺は世界の思い通りになっていいとは思わない。だから徹底的に抗う。
But I won't let fate have its way. I'm rebelling to the end. No matter what, I will save Mayuri. Just a little bit more. I can't give up now. No choices presented, so I can save over that one and carry on. So now we're finally out of that scene, and fingers crossed, it's going to get a bit less ridiculous. Well, that's actually the wrong word. Less fucked up. That's better, yeah. We'll go with that. It's midnight, and Akiba is practically empty. The silence is eerie. There's no sign of anyone near the coin locker. Considering the IBN 5100's size, it couldn't fit in the regular sized lockers. She must have put it in one of the 3 large lockers on the right.
使用中
The light's on. The bottom locker is still in use. Is the IBM 5100 still inside? My heart starts pounding in my chest. I feel my face grow hot with excitement. We've been apart for far too long, my partner, but now only a thin locker door separates us. Is this what love feels like? I wouldn't know. Is the answer to that one. Let's not go crazy. I force myself to consider the situation calmly. Is the IBM 5100 really inside? I want to check right this instant. I can't believe I forgot to ask Moeko which locker she used. Should I get a crowbar or something to pry the locker open? If the IBM 5100 really is inside, and I steal it, what will happen to the worldline? I've yet to cancel all of the D-mails, which I thought was the only way to restore the original worldline. But now the IBM 5100's so close. Why can't I just reach out and take it? I know how to cancel Moeka's D-mail, so I can always do that if this doesn't work. Let's try it, just to make sure. First, I make a quick visit to the lab. Ignoring the complaints of the lab mems, who stayed awake in the lab all night, I retrieve a makeshift crowbar from the development room. Then I return to the lockers and thrust the pointed tip of the crowbar into the crack of the door. Yep. Mr. Rentaro, you are under arrest. Start naming names, asshole. And all the other GTA San Andreas cut quotes. Just as I begin to pry, a shrill siren shatters the night. I look up to see the red lights of a patrol car coming this way. The timing couldn't be worse. Time to run away! Oh no, he doesn't even run away. He does so much for my plan. He didn't even embrace my plan. The police released me after about 30 minutes of scolding. It's a clear breaking and entry job. In Japan, they convict people on a 99% conviction rate when they're guilty. You've got him for breaking and entering. Why would you release him? You throw his ass in the fucking nick. I return to the coin locker and try to pry it open again. Immediately, another patrol car appears. The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And no, that's not a quote attributed to Einstein. That's wrong. This time, they take me to the police station. I'm stuck in an interrogation room all night, getting preached to by policemen. I concluded this is another effect of attractor field convergence. No matter what I do, I cannot obtain an IBM 5100 on this world line. That is what fate has decreed. I get the police to call my father, and they finally release me. Oh dear. They didn't go as far as to arrest me, but the policeman, as well as my father, scold me harshly. I act apologetic, but in actuality their words fall on deaf ears. After my father goes home, wait, hang on, and he's not dragging your ass with him? And why? Of course the police can arrest Rintaro if he's committed a crime, Arister Jack. Of course they can. If Sai Nijima was the prosecutor, his ass would have been straight in the slammer, I can tell you that for free. After she spent 3 days interrogating him about time travel, of course. I head straight to Moeka's apartment. I tried calling her. I took the opportunity to memorise her phone number yesterday. But she wouldn't pick up at all. Before I get there, I send a mail to Daru asking him to keep check if the coin locker is still occupied. The door to Moeka's apartment is unlocked. I find Moeka hugging her knees in the corner, just like she was when I first found her.
IBN 5100を入れたのは右下のコインロッカーで合っているか
You put the IBN 5100 in the bottom right locker, correct?
なぜ
How?
IBN 5100が入る大きさのロッカーはあそこには3つしかなかったそのうち一番下のみが使用中
Just gonna do a quick save on a new slot. I'm running out of slots here, so I might have to reuse old ones. It's from Daru. Checked. The big locker on the lower right is in use. What's the bad anyway? Don't make me your errand boy so early in the morning, fool. So there's no text to reply to on that one, I don't think. Yeah, no reply. Out of all the lockers, only 3 could hold the IBM 5100. Of those 3, only the bottom one was in use. If that's the one you used, then FB hasn't picked it up yet. Do you know what that means? Moeka frowns. It means that if we stake out the locker, you'll get to meet FB. Huh? It hadn't occurred to you. Some secret agent you are. I'm headed there now. You coming? What will you do if you meet her? Borrow her phone. That's the best way to prevent Moeka from going to Yanabayashi Shrine. I can't meet her. I'm too afraid. The real me could never live up to her expectations. Something tells me her expectations were never that high to begin with. Moeka's face contorts again. I'm being blunt. Not only because Moeka is Mayuri's murderer, but also Moeka's weakness is starting to get on my nerves. Also because you're an asshole. Let's not forget the all-important third one there. Actually, no, I take that back, I'm sorry. It's not fair on arseholes to equate them to Okabe Rintaro. It's not fair on arseholes. Just like Daru's mail said, the locker is still occupied when I get there. I look around to make sure there are no patrol cars. No crowbars this time. I don't feel like getting arrested. I head across the street to Daibiru, hide behind one of its humongous pillars, and begin the stakeout. My legs are getting tired. I was going to borrow Mayuri's portable game console, but I decided I didn't need the distraction. Still, it's pretty tough to keep standing like this. I also need to stay inconspicuous. Someone might notice if they see me standing in the same place for hours. I wouldn't want a security guard to give me trouble. I mean, I guess there's not much worry about that. I've already been here for 7 hours without incident. My legs are numb, so I squat and lean against the pillar. So hungry. I'd love to go get some food, but I can't take my eyes off the locker. Just then, somebody taps me on the shoulder. FB? I try to leap to my feet, but my legs get tangled and I fall over. Moeka is standing there, looking down at me with those glassy eyes. I'm not sure that's the description I'd use, Rintaro. Glassy. I don't really see the usual look, apart from maybe the little circle tinge here, maybe. There's not really much. And now we've got the weird cutesy music. What are you doing here? I'll keep watch too. Is that okay? Why the change of heart? I stand up and dust off my clothes. You were comfortable with your male-only relationship, weren't you? I thought you wanted to maintain that distance.
更一歩を踏み出そうと思った。
So what made you decide to risk a meeting?
このままじゃ
At this rate... Moeka puts her head on her knees. She looks ready to cry. I've seen that expression once before, in her moonlit apartment.
FB からの連絡がなくなったら私世界とのつながりが
If I lose contact with FB, I'll lose my connection.
断絶されるか。
To the world? Moeka nods faintly.
孤独に耐えられないくらい弱いのに FB の命令さえあれば容赦なく人も殺せるとはな。
You can't bear to be alone yourself. Yet you'd end an innocent girl's life because some person you've never met told you to.
典型的な狂信者だよお前は。
A cultist. That's what you are. And her cult leader, FB, abused her weakness before throwing her out like old clothes. Well, this one sounds a lot more like a cult than some of the other people who get called cultists. And as you say, when put that way, it is rather despicable, Queen, absolutely. But it's not a pass for Rintaro. Absolutely fucking not. It pisses me off. FB's cruelty, Moeka's weakness. I can't decide which I hate more. Then, Moeka nervously brings out a convenience store bag.
なんだこれは。
What's this? Instead of answering, Moeka looks away. I look inside.
パックの牛乳とアンパン。
Whoa! Milk and bean buns! Exactly what you need on a stakeout. Not sure I agree with that, but... I've not been on a stakeout, so I can't comment. There's enough for two.
もしかして差し入れか。
You brought this for me? Moeka nods.
よし。許可する。お前も張り込みを手伝え。
Very well. You may join the stakeout. Yeah, usual way. Buy us food and we'll go, we're in, okay, it's fine. Or is that just me? Yeah, that's just me. That's just me. Now we can take turns watching, and we'll also look less suspicious to passers-by. The night draws on, and still no sign of FB. We nap in 1 hour shifts, but it doesn't help the exhaustion. On top of that, I don't have anyone to talk to. Moeka can't keep a conversation going, so there's nothing I can do to stave off boredom. I went back to the lab to shower just before dawn, but Karisu, who was working an all-nighter on the time leap machine, just glared at me. The wait finally ends at just after 1 PM on the 13th. Somebody comes to open the lower right locker. Fire up the techno music, people. Let's get a quick save actually while I got the chance. We watch from behind the pillar. It's a nondescript middle-aged man. He's dressed in a new suit, but it hangs rather poorly on him, as if he's not used to wearing it. Is that FB? Moeka shakes her head firmly. FB is a woman. Anyone can pose as anyone online. That's one of the oldest trolling tactics in the book. Join a chat room with a girl's name and just see what kind of messages you get. And I'll tell you now, don't do that, kids. It will fucking disturb you. Don't go down that rabbit hole. So, maybe she hired someone to pick it up. Or it could be someone from the locker company, here to clear it weeks after overdue. That would make us all idiots. Moeka, FB, and me. The man has the key to the locker. He pays the late fee with 100 yen coins, then removes the cardboard box with the IBM 5100 inside. The man fought ahead and brought a pushcart. He puts the IBM 5100 onto the pushcart with a bit of effort and begins walking away.
追うぞ。
Follow him! The man heads straight for Akihabara Station. Strangely enough, he walks up to an overweight man standing in front of the ticket machine. The overweight man is wearing a t-shirt and holds the signs of an otaku. He doesn't seem like to have anything in common with the first guy, who looks like an average salaryman. Has Daru somehow pulled some strings to open the locker here? Or is Daru really a bad guy? That'd be a paradox. The father of the hero from the future is a bad guy. Don't really work, does it? They transfer the IBN 5100 into the overweight man's suitcase. After they exchange a few words, the overweight man enters the station alone. Then the guy in the suit leaves. Weird. What was the purpose of that transfer? Is the overweight man FB? Or is he just another link in some kind of chain? At any rate, if we keep following the IBN 5100, we should reach FB eventually. We enter the station. The overweight man boards the Yamanote line. We board on the next car and keep watch through the connecting door. And again, all these wonderful signs. That's actually very accurate for the Yamanote line. They have what I call bench seats and they have loads of room. The only thing that's wrong are the anime girls. Instead they have like mostly things like suit companies or convenience stores. But everything else about that is very, very accurate. Even the amount of doors in the middle, where you got these split doors in the sides, that's incredibly accurate. It's a weekday afternoon, so there aren't many passengers. Depending on the station, you will always have passengers on the Yamanote line. Shinjuku, Ikebukuro, Ueno, and actually, oddly enough, Akihabara. Getting on and off at Akihabara, you see a lot there. 30 minutes later, we arrive at Shinjuku Station. Yeah, if they're going the opposite way round, that's about right too. Here the train sees a sharp increase in passenger traffic. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Shinjuku, busiest train station in the world, believe it or not. 2.5 million people a day. He's getting off. Moeka pulls on my sleeve. The overweight man has slipped into the stream of departing passengers. He's about to exit onto the platform. We follow him. But due to our slow reaction, we have to push our way through the boarding passengers. The train doors close and it slowly departs. The man starts walking towards the exit. Shinjuku is crowded, so we have to follow close behind or we'll lose him. But then I stop in my tracks. What? The man is empty-handed. His suitcase is missing. What? For a second I think we followed the wrong man. But no, it's definitely him. We watched him the whole time we was on the train. Yeah, it's a classic handover. What happened is, he got off the train, and someone going the other way swiped his suitcase and got back on. It's a classic handoff. What you do is you set someone up deliberately to be tailed, and then you make them do a pass off so the tailer goes after the wrong person. There's no doubt he had the suitcase when the train arrived in Shinjuku. Could he have passed it on to someone else in the crowd? Clever! They know how to lose the tail. Yep, I had a feeling they'll be going back in time. I return to the lab and leap an hour back. I find myself inside the train. I know it's bad manners to use my phone on the train, but this is an emergency. According to the train's display, we're about to leave Otsuka for Ikebukuro. 3 stops to Shinjuku. No, that's wrong. That's definitely wrong. It's not 3 stops to Shinjuku on the Yamanote line from Ikebukuro. I just don't think it is. Actually, no. I was thinking of Ueno. No, it's right. It is 3 stops. I've not been there for 6 years. You'll have to forgive me. Moeka is next to me, acting inconspicuous. I peek at the overweight man in the next car. And yeah, absolutely, Queen, yeah, it's hacks. He's hacking the game, he's cheating. Mods are not allowed. Don't make their move at Shinjuku. Huh? That guy's gonna get off, but he actually hands the package to someone else.
さっきはまんまと引っかかった。
He got us good just now.
さっき
Just now? Doesn't look like Moeka's caught on yet.
俺は1時間後からタイムリープしてきたんだ。
I just time leaped from an hour in the future. Apologies, but I need more water. Right, let's carry on.
タイムリープ
Time leaped? Moeka's eyes widen. The train arrives at Shinjuku on schedule. Just to make sure, I'll have Moeka follow the man when he gets off. Before the doors open, I stealthily move to his car. He still has the suitcase with the IBN 5100. Now arriving at Shinjuku. Well, actually, in the English Yamanote line, it actually has a really annoying, like, Texas female voice, and she's like, "The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the left side will open." That's literally how it sounds. That's literally how it sounds. And then I say, Queen, yep, you said I wouldn't be streaming tomorrow night anyway, because normally I do 2 nights between, but I'm probably not going to do Thursday either, purely because I want a few days rest, considering I'm going very, 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 very long on Saturday. So a couple of days off to make sure I'm fully rested and set up is going to be important, I think. The doors open and passengers spew out. The overweight man leaves too, just like last time. However, I knew it! He leaves the suitcase on the train, and now passengers from Shinjuku board. Someone walks up to the abandoned suitcase. It's a woman in her 30s, pushing a baby stroller. There's no baby. The woman casually loads the suitcase into her stroller and sits down. After witnessing that scene, I return to the neighbouring car. I need to be careful. These guys are serious about avoiding pursuit. The train starts moving. I contact Moeka so we can regroup later. After that incident, the package swaps couriers like a hot potato, sneaking around the tracks that run through Tokyo like a web. Whenever they give me the sleep, I time leap and resume the chase. Finally, the courier and package get back aboard the Hibiya line and return to Akihabara Station where it all began. And that's the greatest way to lose a tale. Your destination is where you start the tale from. I remember hearing a story about a guy who was on the run from the police. His hiding place, a bedsit apartment over the road from the police station. They never thought to look for him there. I recognise the last courier. He's one of the men who raided the lab with Moeka. Dark skin, crew cut, the one who hit me with his gun. The man easily carries the 25 kilo package out of the station. We follow. So Moeka's caught up. A car honks its horn. Moeka and I immediately hide. Peering out from cover, I see a white flatbed parked in front of the station. A muscular man hops out the driver's seat. What? I know that face. No, it can't be! I desperately tried to organise my thoughts. That's Tennoji Yugo, owner of the Broad Tube Workshop. Mr. Braun. Why? Why is he here? Does this mean he's connected to FB? Surround us? Was the Broad Tube Workshop just a front for CERN? Is that we can afford to keep it open? Well, CERN did have a direct line from there, Okabe, I remember. Isn't that how you hacked into their servers? Because you had a direct connection? What's going on here? His shop is right below the lab. If he's working for the enemy, then... A shiver at the thought. Stop. Let's not rush to conclusions. He might just be another courier. Yeah, if he's working for the enemy, he'd kind of know what the device brought by Suzuha would have been, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? He'd think so. Then again, she'd bring it from the future, so... I suppose they don't know what tech they're going to have 30 years in the future. But wouldn't someone time travel back and say you're going to encounter this person and they're bringing this device? We watch from a distance. Tsunoji takes the suitcase from the crew-cut man and loads it into the back of his car. Then he gets into the car alone and takes off towards Showadori. I stare after it in disbelief. Okay, so now we're time leaping way back. I mean, this time they're just going to attack the middle-aged guy. I time leap several hours to before the first man arrived at the coin locker. Then I explain the situation. My plan is to get ahead of the package. After killing some time at Starbucks, we rent a car. I don't have a license, so Moeka's driving. We get to the street in front of the roundabout, facing Showadori, and park near Yodobashi Camera. Now we wait. Nervous?
肩に力が入りすぎているぞ。運転歴はどれぐらいだ?
You look terrified. How long have you been driving? First time.
ペーパーって、ペーパードライバーということか。勘弁してくれ。事故るなよ。
What? This is your first time? Oh, come on. Just don't crash. I was surprised Moeka had a license in the first place. Apparently FB told her it would come in handy for her rounder work. How wrong they were. I have Moeka wait in the car while I keep a lookout on the roundabout. The white station wagon's already stopped there. From this distance, I can clearly see Tsunoji in the driver's seat. Nobody else is riding. The crew cut guy should arrive just after 5 PM. As expected, the crew cut man arrives right on time and effortlessly dragging the suitcase behind him. It feels weird seeing the exact same scene from a different angle. I hurry back to the car, where Moeka's waiting. He's coming. The station wagon rolls past us. It takes a left turn at Showadori intersection towards Akachimachi. Moeka smoothly sets the car in motion. Finally we arrive at Tsunoji's house in Akachimachi. This is the house where Suzuha lived. Her rusty old mountain bike is still sitting out front. Tsunoji brings the IBN 5100 inside. We stop a little farther down the road and keep watch. What does this mean? Where is FB?
あの家に運び込んだことが何を意味するかだ。一時的な保管場所ということなのか。それとも。
The question is, why did he bring it inside? Is he just holding on to it, or is he FB? Does he know FB? Moeka insists that FB is a woman. So maybe it's Tsunoji's wife, whom I've never met. Watch it now, but a little girl. Watch the little girl be FB. That'd be hilarious. That actually would be genuinely hilarious if that's the case. And they do kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but there's a film where there's a girl who's portrayed all the way through as a young girl, and it turns out she's like a psychotic mid-30s woman. It'd be interesting if this game kind of did that kind of storyline. If that turns out to be true now, I'm going to be furious, because I called that as a joke. I have Moeka show me one of FB's mails. M4. It's true that you're not very good with people, but I think that's just part of what makes you unique and special. Besides, you have no trouble talking to me, do you? Honestly, M4, there's nobody else who works as hard as you do. I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad you joined the Rounders. Even if nobody else values you, I'll always look out for you. Feel free to email me whenever you like. Oh yes, since you're finally in Nagoya, you should try some of the local delicacies. It's not good for your health to keep eating convenience store food. Or do you not like me so, M4? In any case, a girl your age needs to eat better. I recommend The firm Miso Stew. Your next mission is to go to Akihabara in Tokyo. So find an apartment by next week. I deposited a special bonus in your account, so feel free to use it. Talk to you soon. Your mother, FB. So that movie's called The Orphan. I've not actually seen it, but I know the plot, so and by the way, sorry I don't mean to drop spoilers here, people. I'm very sorry. But she's kept a lot of emails archived like this one.
M4 というのが私のコードネーム。
M4 is my code name.
それも FB がつけてくれた。
FB gave it to me. Moeka's a mailing machine. She sent FB nearly 10 mails a day, but FB replied to every single one. You had to be a saint to reply to all those emails. No wonder Moeka was so dependent on FB.
今度はここで張り込みだな。
So, time for another stakeout. I have Daru set up a wireless infrared camera on the telephone pole down the street. We park a couple of blocks away and watch the video feed. The next day, Tsunoji goes to his work on his moped like usual. He returns after sunset. There's no sign of his daughter, Nae, or his wife. Something finally happens early Sunday morning. Just before 3 AM, 6 people show up at Tsunoji's house.
あれは
It's them! It's dark, but I recognise them. They're the rounders who raided the lab with Moeka. He said there's 6 of them, but there's only 5 in that shot there. So who's the 6th? Moeka doesn't show much of a reaction. I thought she knew them. I asked, but she says she's never met them before. It looks like this worldline's Moeka has been cut off completely. Were they done with her when she found them in IBN 5100? Tsunoji comes outside and loads the IBN 5100 into the station wagon. Then the 6 men get in and drive away. Tsunoji sees them off, then goes back inside his house.
今度はどこへ？
What now? I'm interested in Tsunoji's story, but the IBN 5100 will lead us to FB. We decide to follow the station wagon at 3 AM in the morning when there's going to be no traffic. They're going to know. The pursuit ends at Narita International Airport. The 6 men, IBN 5100 in tow, board a plane headed for France. France, CERN's home country. What does this mean?
天王寺の妻が FB の可能性がある。
Tenoji's wife might be FB. Says there's been no sign of FB this far. She must be an extremely cautious individual. But the evidence suggests only one possibility. On worldline Alpha 1, Moeka's men attacked the night the time limit machine was completed. Their timing was perfect. It makes sense if you assume that Tsunoji is closely linked to FB. He was right downstairs the whole time we were discussing their plans. FB knew exactly what we were up to. There was also the fact there's a hole in the floor, so discussing the plans would drift downwards. However, something here just doesn't quite make sense to me. There's something here that's just not quite right. I'm not sure what it is though. We were dancing to her tune all along. When we get back to Akiba, Moeka and I start walking towards Tsunoji's house. But on the way, I get an angry call from Karisu demanding an update. So we decide to take care of that first. And there's a mail there, so quickly going to save my game. It's from Mayuri. I saw Orion last night. It was really pretty. I hope you were looking up at the same time, because then it would be like we were close by, even if we're really far away. Stars are romantic like think like that, aren't they? There's like, yeah, I saw it too. First night in a while I've had time to look at it, look at the stars. But I don't think it was Orion. That's a winter constellation. Go on, I'm going to send it anyway. I acknowledge the fact that I've actually reviewed them. I have no idea if you looked. I have no idea if you looked. Well, let's keep peace in the valley with Mayuri, eh? Assuming that's the right decision to make, of course. I might have just screwed up. Maybe. Possibly. Kurisu sighs when she sees me. I thought I asked you to keep me posted. I've been busy. Busy, right. Kurisu glances at Moeka. Were you worried about me? Of course not. Why should I care what you're up to? It's just, Mayuri was really worried. I don't want to see her sad. So at least give her a call, okay? Can I actually do that? No, it's not letting me do it. And yeah, of course she was worried, Queen. We know that Kurisu is a tsundere, so she will never ever admit that she was worried. Unless certain things fall in the move. Well, hey, at least she's not a yandere. Unlike Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. Now that she mentions it, it feels like I haven't talked to Mayuri in forever. I'm doing this to save Mayuri. I'm close to discovering our true enemy. Our enemy? But... Kurisu glances at Moeka again. Moeka's completely expressionless. She's lightly kicking the dirt in boredom. She hasn't used the phone once since we began the search for FB, and that is suspicious. I don't like that. Won't you tell your friend it's rude to start recording them without their permission? I get so nervous on camera. Yeah, you were literally typing that when I said it, hey Queen. You're welcome. Just be grateful I've not cosplayed Monica. That would freak you out. Isn't she our enemy? She is an enemy, but we're cooperating in order to uncover the truth. Isn't she the one who killed Mayuri? Yes. However, Moeka's just a pawn, and one that no longer poses a threat. To save Mayuri, I need to capture the king. Well, the king's cell phone. Queen, I remember your reaction when that happened. I also remember Avian's. Oh, that was good times. That was good. Whatever. So where are you going now? Take me with you. Have you gone mad, assistant mine? I'm perfectly sane, and I'm not your assistant. It could be dangerous. Eh? Kurisu falters for a moment, then quickly tightens her expression. Do I die today? I've experienced the future, so I know who dies today. No, you don't die. Then there's no problem. This worldline has essentially guaranteed my survival. Right. Kurisu doesn't die today. Neither does Mayuri. The only person who dies today is... Kiryu Moeka. This afternoon, she kills herself. I've already told Moeka her fate, but in spite of that, Moeka doesn't seem upset, at least on the surface. She's expressionless as always. The only difference is that she's not checking her phone as often. But Moeka's not a strong woman. That's giving me flashbacks to something else. Beneath that expressionless mask, is she struggling against the fear of death? I decide to confront Tsunoji directly. I have Karisu stand guard outside the house, while Moeka and I go inside. Not that we're planning to break in. We ring the doorbell like honest citizens. Tsunoji opens the door and invites us into the living room. The Divergence meter is sitting in its usual spot. I glance at the numbers. 0.523307%. There's still a long way to go before I reach 1%. How much more of this can I take? And yeah, I get that he's talking about how easily she was manipulated, Queen. I totally get that. It just makes you wonder if there's going to be some other order coming from FB. Because that's what it suggests to me. It suggests to me that she gets a message that says, you know, what happens. I don't want to use the words, because that caused problems with the Doki Doki Literature Club stream. Make yourselves at home. It's just after dawn, much too early for guests, but Tsunoji welcomes us with a smile. He even starts preparing some instant coffee. You're an early riser, Mr. Brown. Yeah, gotta see my little girl after school. I know it's summer break, but habits die hard. Is your daughter still asleep? Hey, you thinking of trying something while she's sleeping? Touch her and I'll break your head. Got it? Don't worry. I'm more interested in his wife. There's still no sign of her. Is she asleep too, or could she be hiding somewhere? I'd like to do a thorough search of the house, but of course that's impossible. And then there's what he said just now about seeing Nae off to school. That sounded like something a single father would say. I suspected that FB was Tsunoji's wife, but that may have been a mistake. If the game really is going with my theory that Nae is FB, I'm going to be apoplectic with rage. Well, no, I'm not going to be, because I'm ready for it now. Maybe Tsunoji is just another courier after all. Maybe he doesn't even know about FB. There's the possibility that FB might not even be an Akiba. I need answers. But how do I get them? Moeka is just staring at the floor. I can't count on her for any bright ideas. And whether or not Tsunoji's wife is FB, I don't think this man will fall for any tricks. I decide to go for the direct approach.
数時間前、この家の前に6人の男が集まり、とあるものを持ってフランスに渡った。そのことについて当然ご存知ですね。
A few hours ago, 6 men stopped by this house to pick up a package, which they then delivered to France. You were there. I saw you. This time, Tsunoji doesn't give me his usual macho attitude. He just smiles softly. And?
IBN 5100。あなたは知っているはずだ。
The package contained an IBN 5100. You know what that is, of course. Yeah, the legendary retro PC. This is too easy. He's never this cooperative.
あなたは何者だ？運び屋か？それとも
Are you just another courier? Or are you...
ラウンダーか？
A rounder? Instead of answering my question, Tsunoji looks straight at Moeka. Did you betray us, M4? Moeka jerks upright. M4 is Moeka's code name. Something only FB should know.
もしかして FB
No. Are you FB? Tenoji laughs once. A dry sound.
フェルディナント・ブラウンって知ってるか？
Ever heard of Ferdinand Braun? No. I can't say I have. That's a better reveal than his daughter. That would have been stupid. Moeka and I look at each other, confused by the sudden change of topic.
おいおい、ブラウン管を発明したノーベル物理学賞の偉人だぞ。
Shows how much attention I've been paying. Come on. He was the Nobel Prize-winning physicist who invented the Braun tube. Tenoji has a thing for Braun tubes. I know that. But what does that have to do with anything?
フェ
Well,
ルディナント・ブラウン。
a lot.
頭文字は？
Ferdinand Braun. Initials. Well, yeah, FB, which makes perfect sense. Huh? FB?
そういうことだ。
Now you get it. Tenoji casually produces a handgun. The motion is so smooth and natural that I don't even recognise it as a gun at first. You're booing my reaction, Queen. You were hoping for shock. I'm going to say it was either going to be him or his daughter. It doesn't make sense when you think about it. I'm sure there'll be a reason as to why it makes sense eventually. Because, again, why has he got that meter in front of him then? Why is he letting Okabe say it? None of it makes sense. I know it's a different world line, so maybe that's the reason. I guess we're going to find out. But it's interesting that you also thought it might have been Nai. I was just thinking, no, that's just too stupid. No way. It'd have been funny, but no way. Its heavy form gives off a chilling black luster. The muzzle is pointed at Moeka. What? Moeka and I are unarmed. We didn't plan for this. Yet, here comes the death of Moeka for today, I guess. And at that point, Karisa's going to open the door and he's going to get away. How could we have? We thought FB was Tenoji's wife, not the man himself.
一つ聞かせてください。
Let me ask you one thing.
あなたの奥さんは
Your wife,
苗を産んだ時に死んだ。
she died having Nai. Why? I curse silently. No wonder I've never seen her. She's been dead for years. Tenoji is FB.
そんな嫌よ
No, that can't be.
俺への依存の次は現実逃避か？
I thought I was your world, M4. Now you're running away. Keeping his gun trained on Moeka, the man I knew as Mr. Braun laughs scornfully. We're at an overwhelming disadvantage. I was a fool to believe the direct approach would work. Now my recklessness is going to get both of us killed. No, not both of us. I don't die here. I'm here because I time leap on the 16th. That fact is written on the fabric of this world line. So if the attractor field model is right, I can't possibly die now, on the morning of the 15th. My survival is guaranteed by the same force that keeps killing Mayuri. However, Moeka has no such protection. She dies today. It doesn't matter how. She could easily die right now, right before my eyes. What am I going to do about it? Nothing. It doesn't matter. My goal is to obtain FB's cell phone and send the D-mail to Moeka in the past. That's the reason I'm here. In any case, I mustn't let his handgun scare me. There's no turning back now. All I can do is stay on the offensive.
あなたがラウンダーの一員だったとはな。セルンの犬だったとはな。
So you're a rounder. CERN's dog.
犬か。間違っちゃいねえ
You're a dog. Yeah, you ain't wrong. Tenoji's like a different person today. Well, he's got a gun, so what do you expect? Of course he's going to be different. He's composed. He doesn't get angry, even when I provoke him. You wouldn't expect a man with a gun to be so calm. Is this who he really is? Was the gruff but good-natured storekeeper just an act?
撃てば 銃声で娘が目を覚ます。
If you shoot, it'll wake up your daughter.
だからなんだ。
So what?
娘にそんな汚れ仕事をしている姿を見られたいのか。
Do you want to see your daughter? To see you commit murder?
俺の娘は見た目で判断するような器の小さい女じゃねえんだよ。
Remember the girl's smart as a button. She'll understand. I grind my teeth.
よりによってあなたがラウンダーとは。
I can't believe you're a rounder. You, of all people.
橋田鈴はあなたにそんなことをさせるために世話をしてやったんじゃない。
Hashida Suzu didn't give you a home so you could turn it into a safe house for CERN! Tsunoji's smile stiffens for a second, but then he slaps his knee and laughs.
なんだよおめえ。すずさんのこと知ってんのか。だったらもっと早く言ってくれよ。
You knew Suzu-san? You should have said something! Tsunoji and I haven't spoken about Suzuha on this worldline. Yep, died giving birth. Exactly. When he said they weren't together, it was obviously a lie.
だがな、ずいぶん分かったようなこと言うじゃねえか。すずさんは10年も前に死んだんだ。その当時、岡部は8歳かそこらだろう。
Anyway, what gives you the right to speak for her? Huh? She died 10 years ago. You were what, 8?
なのにすずさんのことが分かるってのか。
How do you know how she'd feel?
わかるさ。
She told me. I glare at Tsunoji. The anger and frustration are overwhelming.
俺の主観時間では彼女はほんの数週間前までこの時代にいた。
She was here, in this time, not 5 days ago! I say, talking about his smart as a button remark, I'm sure she was introduced as a young age, wasn't she? It was early, mid-teen, early teens at the latest. At the very, very, very latest.
未来を変えるのは君たちにかかってる。私は荷物をこの秋葉原に絶対持ってくるから。そして君たちに責任を持って託すから。
I'll bring it to you here in Akihabara. That's my duty, and I'll see it through. The rest is up to you.
お願い。未来を変えてほしい。
Change the future. Please. I still remember her words vividly. Though it feels like it's been forever since she spoke them. In objective time, it was just a few days ago.
あなたのすぐ近くにいたんだよ。彼女は
She was right there, and you never knew it!
橋田鈴。いや、天音鈴葉はセルンと戦うためにこの時代にやってきたタイムトラベラーだ。
Hashida Suzu. No. Amane Suzuha was a time traveler. She came from the future to stop CERN! What?
気づかなかったのか FB。 あなたの恩人は2036年からやってきたんだよ。我がラボの一員ダルの娘だ。
You never noticed, FB? The woman who saved your life came from the year 2036. She was one of us, a lab mem. The daughter of Hashida Itaru.
鈴葉はセルンを恨んでいた。なのにその鈴葉に世話になったあなたはセルンの犬か。
Suzuha hated CERN. And here you are, a man who owes her everything, doing their dirty work.
これでは鈴葉が浮かばれないぞ。
Is this how you honor Suzuha's memory?
でたらめ言ってんじゃねえよ。
Stop making shit up. Tsunoji thrusts his gun at me. I barely manage to keep from flinching.
どうしてこんなことになった。
How did you turn out this way?
るせえな。いろいろあるんだよ。
Fuck you! It's complicated. Yeah, it's always complicated, isn't it? There's always an excuse. There's always someone else to blame when these things don't go the right way, and isn't it? It's like there's a template they always have to draw from. It's so blasé. And yet, you raise a fair point, Queen. How would she understand why Daddy killed someone? Exactly. It just doesn't make any fucking sense, does it? But then again, I suppose if you're a bad guy, you assume these things will work that way. Complicated. Is that supposed to be an excuse?
本当に FB
Are you really FB? Moeka looks completely lost. Tanoji sighs and lowers his gun.
ああ、そうだ。
Yeah, I am.
メールは
The mails?
全部俺が書いた。なぜ女言葉かって？カムフラージュだよ。正体を隠すためのな。
Told you early on, oldest trick in the book. Be a catfish. I wrote them. Why did I pretend to be a woman? Camouflage, obviously. Had to hide my identity.
ネットでもネカマなんて腐るほどいるだろ。
The internet's full of guys pretending to be girls. And the game even acknowledges my point. The game even agrees with me.
マジな話、大変だったんだぜ、M4。メール送りすぎだ、タコ。
I gotta say though, M4, you sent too much goddamn mail.
おめえのくだらねえ相談に全レスしてやったんだ。感謝しろ。
Who has time for that shit? You better be grateful I bothered to reply. No.
FB は私のお母さんみたいな存在で
FB was like a mother to me.
私は FB のためなら何だって
I'd do anything for FB.
そう仕向けたんだよ。おめえみたいなメンヘラは簡単に依存してくれるから操りやすい。
That was the point. It's easy to manipulate nut jobs like you. Just gotta give them something to cling to. Well, this chapter's really made you, really given Moeka a fucking bad deal, hasn't she? She's really drawn a shit deck in this card, in this round of poker. She really has been dealt a shitty hand.
もうやめろ。
Enough! Oh, now he's got the gun back up again. I approach Tanoji, but freeze once he points the gun at me again.
なぜ連絡くれなかったの
Why did you stop emailing me?
連絡？ああ。IBA の5100を手に入れた時点で、おめえはもう用済みだからだ。
Huh? Oh, right. Your usefulness ended the second you dropped off the IBN 5100.
用済み
I'm useless? That was... Oh. Oh, someone get a burn ward stat for that one from Rintaro. Ouch. That was obvious. Yeah, it's like completing her objectives a bad ending for Moeka. You're not wrong. Yeah, as I say, she's got she was simply too loyal. And when you're loyal, unfortunately, people take advantage of that. Not that I'm saying loyalty is a bad thing, by the way. Loyalty is to be rewarded. But it's just there's too many scumbags out there who like to take advantage of that. So remember, always look out, people. Always. I've been telling her this whole time that FB abandoned her. Guess it wasn't real to her until she heard it from FB's own mouth. And tragically, that's also true. You can offer advice as much as you want, but people have to open their own eyes. And that's true, actually, Queen. Yeah, at least he didn't say it. At least he didn't burn her by turning round. But could you imagine that if he'd have turned around and actually sided with Braun at this point? Dear, that would have been bad.
ダイレクトメールでメンバーを募集するのは機密性の保持の観点からするとザルだけどな。それがラウンダーのやり方だ。
Recruiting members directly is bad for secrecy, but the Rounders make up for it by choosing expendable assets with nowhere else to go.
そして IBN5100 を見つけたメンバーは任務達成となり口封じされる。例外なく全員だ。
Any member who finds an IBN 5100 is eliminated. No exceptions. So shouldn't you be dead? I'm just saying, shouldn't he be dead now as well then? What is he saying?
そうすることでセルンと委員会は機密を保持しつつ安い金で俺たちみたいなはみ出し者を利用してるわけだ。
That way, CERN gets to keep their secrets. Plus have a cheap army of outcasts like us. FB.
あいつらにしてみればラウンダーは全員駒さ。悲しいことにな。
We're all expendable. Every last one of us. And it sucks, let me tell you. Without dropping his smile, Tenoji takes his gun.
任務達成はすなわち処分確定。扱いとしては犬っつうより家畜だな。
As soon as our job's done, they get rid of us. Guess that makes us cattle, not dogs. And presses it against the side of his head.
逆らえば家族が危険にさらされるんだ。大事な娘に手出しさせられねえだろ。
Disobey orders, and they go after your family. I can't let them touch my little girl, can I? And that's true, Queen. It hasn't reached France yet, but unless you're advocating intervening with a plane somehow, which is, depending on what kind of plane it was, possible. If they had any sense, it'd be a. If they had any sense, it would be a private jet of some kind, like a charter jet. And Queen, I'm not going to say just yet. Let's let the scene play out first.
おい、よせ。
Wait, don't!
すずさんには悪いと思ってるよ。
Sorry for everything, Suzu-san.
本当。なんでこんなことになったんだろうな。
Really? How did I turn out this way? He pulls the trigger. Well... No, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. It's censored. Right, well, that solved the problem. Grab his phone, send an email, and the world resets itself. Heartless? Yes. Efficient? Definitely. Why? Yeah, I'm not going to describe that. Not that there's anything technically wrong with it, I just don't want to chance the algorithm. Tenoji's massive body drops to the floor and sprawls out, motionless. And now we're going to see Nae running, I think. A dark red stain begins to spread over the tatami mats. He's dead. Tenoji is dead. No! Why? Yep. I'm not bothering doing a dub for that one. I don't need to. It's over. And I still don't understand what happened. Would he have killed himself even if we hadn't confronted him? Was his death, too, the will of fate? Tenoji completed his mission. Maybe he chose to eliminate himself rather than face CERN assassins. You fool! I bite down hard on my lip. I pound my fists against the floor. You left your daughter all alone! He meant to protect her with his sacrifice, but what is Nae supposed to do now? How could you die with a smile? All rounders are expendable, he said. Does that mean FB was just another pawn? Is that how CERN operates? That's insanity! This can't be real. Nae, is she still sleeping in the next room? Blissfully unaware of her father's suicide? Well, if she's not come out by now, that would tell you that unfortunately, Nae isn't with us either. Yeah, I really don't want that to be shown. How do I explain this to her? Should I run? Again, strictly speaking, my purpose is to obtain FB's phone. Once I send the D-mail and change the word line, all of this will be undone. I can run like a coward, and no one will know. I'll know. I timidly slide the door open to Naya's bedroom. It looks like you'd expect. There's a red backpack hanging next to the desk, and there's a futon laid out on the floor. But Naya isn't there. The window is open. The lace curtains are waving, as if to invite the fresh morning breeze inside. She's gone? Where did she go? No. Don't tell me Sun kidnapped her. I don't even know if she was here when we arrived. None of this makes sense. This isn't the world I know. His phone. I need Tsunoji's phone. I'm relieved Naya isn't here. I don't have to tell her about her father's death. I find Tsunoji's phone in his pants pocket. I was ready to kill him for it if I had to. I never thought he'd do it. And now I'm looting his body like a hyena scavenging for scraps of meat. I make myself want to puke. I leave as soon as I have the phone, dragging the catatonic Moeka with me. We regroup with Kurisu, who was worried sick. And she didn't hear the shot. Gunshots are 200 decibels plus. You would hear it. Even a 9mm is that loud. Who was worried sick waiting outside and hail a taxi. I wish we hadn't spent so much time parked near Tsunoji's house. Once the body is found, the police might trace the rental car back to us. Maybe we should have reported it first, but I'd rather not have to answer any questions. Especially after you've got the record of breaking into lockers. You do that one day and someone dies the next? Yeah, the cops will ask a lot of questions. Besides, soon none of this will have happened. So the manager was FB. First we take Moeka back to her apartment. There I explain to Kurisu what happened. Moeka didn't say a word on the way back. Now she's sitting on the floor by the entrance, staring off into space. It must have been quite a shock to hear Tsunoji's, FB's confession. The one person she trusted betrayed her. She may never recover. But were Tsunoji's actions really a betrayal? I'm not quite convinced. Something felt off back there. Rounders who complete their elimination are eliminated. No exceptions. That's what FB said. But in that case, why wasn't Moeka killed?
No. Moeka.
Hey, Moeka.
もしかしたら FB はお前を生かそうとしたのかもしれない。
It's possible that FB did what he did so you could live.
あの人はお前を見捨てたんじゃなくて
Maybe he didn't abandon you.
突き放して生かそうとしたのかも。
Maybe by pushing you away, he was trying to keep you safe. This may just be wishful thinking. We'll never know FB's true intentions. But I want to believe that Tsunoji did care for her. That there was a place for Moeka somewhere. What am I doing? Why am I trying to comfort Moeka? Maybe I'm just soft.
Okabe, 今すぐ D メールを送るべきよ。
Okabe, we need to send a D-mail now. Carisa's expression is grave.
今を逃すといろいろ面倒なことに巻き込まれるかもしれないから。
Missed this chance, and you could be in a lot of trouble. Carissa had the same thought as me.
あんたの目的はマユリを救うことであって、セルンへの復讐じゃないでしょ。
Your goal is to save Mayuri, not take revenge on CERN, right?
私たちが作ったタイムリープマシンのせいで犠牲が出るのは気持ちのいいことじゃない。
I don't want anyone else to be hurt because of the machine we built.
ああ、そうだな。
Yeah, you're right. FB's phone is in my possession. There's no longer any reason to stay on this worldline. It's only a matter of time until the police come looking for us. I should send a D-mail immediately. When I do, the present will be reconstructed. Tenoji will still be alive. Moeka will still be in contact with FB. And at last, the IBN 5100 will return to me. I just need to think about saving Mayuri, and all will be well.
ダルはもうラボに来ていると思うか
Do you think Dara's still in the lab?
電話してみる。
I'll try calling. I'll send the same message I tried to send earlier from Moeka's phone, only this time it will be from FB's phone. When Moeka sees it, she'll believe it to be an order from FB. Knowing her dependence on FB, she'll obey without question. It makes me sick to be taking advantage of Moeka's vulnerabilities like this. How am I any different from him?
あと5分くらいでラボに着くって。
He said he'll be there in 5 minutes. Why don't I like this? Suddenly there's a 5-minute delay for no reason. So we just wait until then.
ねえ、さっき店長の家でのことだけど。
By the way, something weird happened back there. After closing her phone, Kurisu glances at Moeka and lowers her voice.
私、外で見張ってて、銃声が聞こえて。
While I was waiting outside, I heard a gunshot. Oh, she did hear the gunshot.
その直後ぐらいに、あの子の姿、見た。
And right after that, I saw her.
あの子
Her? Who? I ask even though I already know the answer. There's only one person it could be.
ナエちゃん、
Nae-chan.
家の裏口から走り去っていった。
She went out the back door.
呼び止めようとしたら、目があったわ。
When I called her to stop, our eyes met. Please don't tell me I'm right after all. And she ran away so that he could take the fall for his daughter. Kurisu bites her lip, as if fighting an unpleasant memory. It happened right after she heard the gunshot. If that's true, then Nae saw her father die. She saw her father die and ran away. Huh? There's a knock on the door. Someone's here. Who? Moeka, who'd been squatting by the entrance, slowly lifts her head. This is wrong. The timing's too perfect. Today, Kiryu Moeka dies. This worldline has already approved that fate. Has it come for her already? Moeka reaches for the doorknob.
よせ開けるな
Wait, don't! I tried to stop her, but too late. Moeka is already turning the doorknob. The door opens slowly, and there stands...
こんにちは。
Hey! An innocent greeting. A child's voice. Familiar. How did she find this place? Go on, let's let the scene play out. Let's not react until we see the scene. How did she get here? Why did she come here? She ran away. Our eyes met. Right after I heard the gunshot. Nice, steps up to Moeka. Moeka's body blocks my view. The next instant, Moeka drops to her knees like a string-cut puppet. An innocent laugh. Hands dyed with blood. A cleaver in her hand. Ooh, a butcher's cleaver. Nice.
嘘でしょ。
No way!
嘘じゃない。
Yes way! Nai's lips twist into a vicious sneer. She looks straight at me, her eyes burning with intense hatred. Those aren't the eyes of a child. What's going on here? Is this really Nae?
私は許さない。
I won't forgive you! The venom in her voice chills me to the bone. I know that I'm doing a cutesy voice, but for me that sounds more venomous.
父さんを死に追いやったお前たちを
Daddy died because of you.
絶対に許さないから。
I'll never forgive you.
私がこの手で殺してやるまで許さないから。
I'll kill you with my own 2 hands. Carissa and I stare in shocked silence. Neither of us can move a muscle.
岡部倫太郎
Okabe intro. My heart skips a beat. I feel like someone just walked over my grave.
お前は15年後に殺す。それまで怯えて待ってなさい。
You want to make a suggestion, but you want my permission first. Are you talking about the stream here, about the game, or what? I mean, you're not going to drop a spoiler, I know you too well for that, so consider this permission granted. I'll come for you in 15 years. I hope you spend them quivering in terror. Nope, can't use the phone. I thought I might have been able to get in contact with Moeka. Send it already. I don't mind. You can make some suggestions. Whether I'll listen to them is up to me. Don't send a email. Well, that'll end the game. Why would I want to hang around? We'll see how it goes. Nae tosses the knife away and leaves, laughing all the while. Yeah, I've just realised I don't need to say I've not had a choice yet. I hear the sound of her footsteps pattering down the stairs. Soon they fade away, leaving us in silence. So I want to carry on with the game. The alternative outcomes I'll do as another stream, I think. So far it's been a case of send the email, move on to the next timeline. And I want to keep the game going.
今のはなんだ悪魔か何かが取り付いていたのか
What the hell was that? A demon? Was she possessed? My entire body is shaking. I have to struggle just to move a finger.
いやそれよりも萌香が
What about Moeka? Moeka's clothes are soaked in blood. There's a gaping wound in her abdomen where Nae stabbed her. Calm down. Carissa yells for me to come to my senses. I know I didn't do a yell, but it seemed more effective. And then she takes out her phone. Check out Kiryu-san! I'll call an ambulance! No, wait, before that! Maybe you should just send a D-mail. Even now, Carissa is calm. I feel an irrational surge of anger at her composure, but I know that she's right. Once I send the D-mail, this worldline will be undone. I know that, but still I run to Moeka's side. When I lift her up in my arms, I see that her chest is already covered in blood. Moeka! She's my enemy. Hang in there! She killed Mayuri. Can you hear me? Moeka! Yep, can't send it. Not yet, anyway. I can't understand her. Go over this one because there was no choice there, I don't think. I can't forgive her. And yet, I can't help but call out her name. Because in a sense, she's a victim too. Moeka slowly opens her eyes. Her eyes are blank and unfocused. She's fading fast. She tries to speak, but her voice catches in her throat. I bring my ear closer to her lips. I killed someone precious to you. Yes, you did. Countless times. Not on this worldline, but on others. This is my punishment. The will of fate. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I silently squeeze Moeka's hand. Moeka doesn't squeeze back. She no longer has the strength. Oh, I've just got an achievement there. I had nothing except FB. The only place I belonged. I would kill to protect it. You're right to hate me. I'm sorry. I forgive you. The words come to my lips unbidden, but as soon as I speak them, I understand why. Moeka does not kill Mayuri on this worldline. Even if she could, it will not happen until tomorrow. This Moeka, the one dying in my arms, is innocent. And yet even now, she says I'm sorry. How can I not answer her? I forgive you. Perhaps the words are meaningless. Forgiving Moeka will not cure Nae's hate. Neither will Moeka's death. I don't even know if I truly mean what I'm saying. But still, I remember what Kurisu said. My goal is to save Mayuri, not avenge her. So here, now. I forgive you. The anguish seems to fade from Moeka's face. Her eyes slowly close. And so it's a 75% progress achievement. Oh, that makes more sense now. A tear slides down Moeka's cheek. Her hand slips from my grasp. She's no longer breathing. Biting my lip, I lay Moeka to rest on the floor. I place her purple phone in her hands. Okabe. Kurisu calls to me in a weak voice. I think you should send the D-mail. Everything's ready at the lab. Still can't, won't let me do it. Yeah. Moeka and FB are gone. But Mayuri's fate remains unchanged. Do another quick save here, I think. The universe still demands her death. Hey, Christina.
D メールを送ってダイバージェンスが変わったら萌香はそこで生きていると思うかそれとも死んだままだと思うか
When I send the D-mail and change divergence, Do you think Moeka's fate will change?
あんたが言っていたアトラクタフィールド理論で考えるの。
Based on the attractor field model you spoke of,
ダイバージェンスが 1% 以上なら生きている確率は高くなる。
she'll be more likely to live if divergence exceeds 1%.
こんな思い入れもクソもない言い方しかできなくて。
Sorry. I wish I knew what to say. It's an interesting point you bring up there, Quay, about how she chose to ignore a safety blanket for the last 4 days. Maybe that's the narrative they were going for. Who can say? Well, the game creators. Obviously, they can say.
いや、いいんだ。
Don't worry about it. I stand up. Moeka's blood clings to my hands. It won't come off, even when I wipe it with a tissue. I stop trying and take out FB's phone. I nod to Kurisu. She calls Dara and tells him to activate the phone wave. Name subject to change. Don't think it's quite fitting for the whole Tanaka, Mr. Tanaka kind of pose at this point. Doesn't fit the scene. I take one last look at Moeka's body lying there. We're moving to 0571-046. The world warps. Once the distortion dissipates, Kurisu is gone. So is Moeka's body. The phone I'm gripping is my own. FB's phone has disappeared. I look at my hands. They're clean. No blood. No knife on the floor either. Everything was undone. But then why am I in this room? There are 2 bottles of Dr. P on the coffee table. Both are open. One is nearly empty. The other is still full. And here comes the Moeka, I'm guessing? I jump at the sound of a running shower. That sounded more like a toilet being flushed. After a few minutes, Moeka comes out of the bathroom, expressionless.
生きてる。
You're alive. Huh? Moeka sits down on the tatami mats, not questioning why I'm here. She takes out her purple phone and begins typing her mail. It feels like forever since I've seen her lightning speed typing. I don't need an IBM 5100 anymore. This mail doesn't make any sense. It reads like Moeka and I were discussing the IBM 5100 just moments ago. Of course. That's exactly what happened on this worldline. That explains why I'm here.
必要ないとは。
What do you mean? My supervisor told me to stop looking.
上司 ?FB か。
Your supervisor? You mean FB? And I mean it's kind of inappropriate because we've now had the sad scene play out, but then again, it's always nice to get huggles. Honestly, this thing is far, far too cuddly. It is far, far too cuddly. Absolute bargain. Just making sure he's partially back in shot. Let's carry on. Huh? Oh, look at that face. She wasn't expecting me to say that, was she? Right, I'm going to move that one to... I'm going to take it over this one. Purely so if I do want to go back to the previous other ending, I can check it out another time. How do you know about FB? Where did you get that information? Moeka. So, FB's still alive. I feel relief, but also fear. I mustn't forget that he's my enemy. For now, however, I'm more interested in what Moeka just said. FB cancelled her mission to retrieve the IBM 5100.
任務達成はすなわち処分確定。扱いとしては犬っつうより家畜だな。
Doing your duty sets you up for disposal, so we're more like cattle than dogs. I recall his last words. Perhaps he cancelled her mission so that they wouldn't be eliminated. But I don't think that will prevent their deaths. They cannot escape their fate. I won't forgive you until I kill you with my own hands. I cover my ears. I can't get that childish, yet hate-filled voice out of my head. Kind of reminds me of Alice in many ways from Persona. Will you play with me? Ding. And a lot of like exploding teddy bears hit you. On that worldline, I turned an innocent girl into a murderer. Bite my lip hard. Hard enough to draw blood. That worldline has already been undone. But how will things turn out on this new worldline? No, there's no point thinking about it. If the plan worked, the IBN 5100 should already be back in my possession. And if that's the case, then there's no need to stay on this worldline either. On the way back to the lab, I stopped by the Brawn Tube workshop and peeking through the window. The 42-inch CRT is powered on, and Tanuji, FB, is lounging in front of it, reading the sports pages. FB is still alive. His daughter, Nae, has no reason to hate anyone now. I climb the stairs to the lab. There's nobody there but Kurisu. Have you been to Kiryu Morika's apartment? Huh? Kurisu pauses her at-channel browsing session to look at me in confusion. Morika-san's apartment? Never. Oh, okay. Why'd you ask? It doesn't matter, just wondering. I cut across the lounge and head straight for the development room. In the middle of that room sits the time leap machine. After a glance at the time leap machine, I scan the shelves. It's here! A large, familiar cardboard box. I was right. Inside the box is the IBN 5100, the legendary retro PC stolen from me by a twist of fate. At last it has returned. The long battle is finally over. Why do I get the feeling it isn't? I did it. We can save Mayuri! Daru! Where's my super hacker? I can't contain my excitement. My heart is beating like a jackhammer. He's not here. He went to Kamimar, remember? Quick save. Yep, see, we're still in Chapter 9. We've not reached Chapter 10. It's Mayuri. Alchemy's been acting strange lately, so Mayushi didn't go to Kamimar today. Are you at the lab? Maybe I'll go there now. I haven't seen you in a couple of days, you know. We usually see each other every day, so it's really lonely. I know it's only been 4 days at most, but I'm used to being with you all the time. I'm your hostage, remember? Don't let it go. Oh, right. In that case, he won't return until evening. I can't wait that long. So I fire up the time machine and leap. Leap where? As shape and colour return to the world, I see Daru in front of his computer, sleepily playing an eroge. Chris is napping on the sofa. She probably just got done with her all-nighter on the time leap machine. Mayuri's not around. She probably went to Lukako's to beg him to cosplay. Daru! Christina! Kurisu jerks awake. It's time for the final phase of Operation Verthandi. My sonorous declaration earns only blank stares. Why are they so slow?
ダル IBN5100 だ
The IBN 5100, Daru!
だから
Yeah?
だからではない IBN5100 があるのだよ
Listen to me, man! We have an IBN 5100!
そりゃあるっしょ。オカリンが持ってきたんじゃん。
Of course we do. You're the one who found it, Ocarine.
そう俺が持ってきた柳林神社からな
Yes! Yes, I did! I found it at Yanabayashi Shrine!
オカリン、今日はやけにテンション高くね。
Have you been drinking too much soda? Let me sleep, for crying out loud! Kurisu rubs her eyes and complains. She looks dead tired.
徹夜明けなんだから
I was up all night.
ダル一つ聞くが IBN5100 の使い方について勉強はしたか
A question, Daru. Have you researched how to use the IBN 5100?
あ、まあ一応。
Well, yeah, I guess.
コミマ前のクソ忙しい時期に僕って偉すぎじゃね？イギリスだったらナイトの称号もらえるレベル。
It deserved it better than some of the people who've been knighted in our time. A certain blacklisted TV presenter, who I won't speak the name of. People over here know of whom I speak. Can you believe I did it while preparing for Kamamar? I'm like a saint or something. They knight me for this over in England.
ならば今日からお前のことをサースーパーハッカーと呼ぼう
Then we shall call you Sir Super Hacker.
だが断る。
Hell no.
くだらない会話は自重しろ頭が痛くなる
Will you guys shut up? You're giving me a headache. If Daru knows how to use the IBN 5100, then we can hack CERN right now.
全ラボ面に告げる
Hear me, lab mems! Mayuri's not here, but that's actually more convenient.
長き戦いにいよいよ決着をつける時が来たすなわちラグナロックが開始されるのだ
Our long struggle has at last reached its climax! Ragnarok is at hand!
本作戦の概要はすなわちセルン本部の最新部に隠された極秘データを IBN5100 によるクラッキングで破壊することである
Now we must deliver the decisive blow. With the power of the IBN 5100, we shall crack CERN's most secure database and destroy it from the inside!
エシロンなる卑劣な電子機器により奴らは我らの極秘情報をかすめ取った天津さえそれをもとに我らを特定し我らが開発した人類の夢タイムマシンの強奪をも目論んだ
Though the cowardly apparatus known as Echelon, the enemy has acquired precious intelligence on our activities. Now they plot to steal our sacred time machine, upon which thrust the hopes and dreams of all mankind.
研究機関でありながらその裏で時空の支配者の座を望み非道なるデリーマン実験を行う奴らに今こそ正義の鉄槌を下そうではないか
Beneath its scholarly trappings, CERN is a hive of scum and villainy, of men who would sacrifice innocent souls in their quest to rule all space and time. But now, we are poised to crush them with the hammer of justice.
そして真の時空の支配者がどちらなのか奴らの目にしかと刻みつけてやれ
And when we do, they will know once and for all by whose hand the wheel of fate truly turns.
戦いが終わった時世界を陰で牛耳る支配構造はついに崩壊し再構成されるだろうそう我らが望んだ混沌がついに訪れるのだ
When the sun sets upon the battlefield, the foul system that rules the world will crumble, and from the flames a new age will rise, an age of glorious, unfettered chaos.
まあうるさい
Ah, shut up! Kurisu gets fed up and rises from the sofa.
一体何なの？
What are you talking about?
オカリンの心の闇は誰にもわからんでござる。
Nobody can know the darkness in Okarin's heart.
そもそも設定じゃ、岡部は狂気のマッドサイエンティストじゃなかった？なのになんで正義の鉄槌とか言っちゃってるんだ？
First, get your character straight. What kind of mad scientist talks about the hammer of justice?
ついカッとなってやったんじゃね？今は反省してるかも。
I guess he just got caught up in the heat of the moment. Maybe he regrets it now.
お前たちごちゃごちゃ言っていないで準備しろ。
Come on, guys! Stop complaining and get ready!
準備ってなんぞ？
Get ready?
だから今言っただろう。セルンへのクラッキングだ。
To crack soon! Weren't you listening?
クラッキングは良くないと思う。
I don't think that's a good idea.
なんという優等生的発言。お前は委員長か。
What did you become a goody two-shoes? Where's your ambition?
捕まりたいの？
Are you trying to get us arrested?
そういう問題ではない。
That's not the problem! I fight the urge to grind my teeth. Instead, I fix Kurisu with my stare.
俺はこのターニングポイントへ到達するためにこれまで戦ってきた。
It's taken me so long, just to reach this point.
今こそアルファ世界線を離脱しマユリを救う。邪魔をするというなら誰だろうと許さん。絶対にだ。
This is my chance to escape the Alpha worldline and save Mayuri. I won't let anyone get in my way. Anyone.
岡部？
Okabe?
必死すぎ。
Why so serious, man? I've got good reason. To them, only half an hour has passed since the time leap machine was built. But to me, many days have passed since this ordeal began. Please! I bow my head deeply.
俺の願いを聞いてくれ。
Please, hear me out! Or else Mayuri will die, and in 26 years, the world will be ruled by CERN. Suzuha's sacrifice will be for nothing. Daru claps me on the shoulder, then smiles broadly and thrusts his thumb skyward.
別にあんたのためにクラッキングするんじゃないんだからね。
It's not like I'm cracking for you or anything, okay?
これはひどい。
Oh, God. I burst out in laughter. Sir Super Hacker, Tsundere version, is here to save the day. I couldn't have asked for a better right-hand man. As Daru hooks the IBM 5100 to his PC, I explain the situation one more time. Let's hope this is the last.
つまり全ての元凶は俺が最初にダルに当てて送ったメールにある。
This all happened because of the very first D-mail I sent to Daru.
それがセルンのエシュロンに捕らえられてしまったせいでラウンダーに目をつけられた。
CERN intercepted that D-mail with Echelon and figured out what it meant, then sent their rounders after us.
結果マユリは殺され俺たち3人はセルンに拉致されタイムリープマシンは強奪される。
They will kill Mayuri, kidnap us, and steal the time leap machine. Some years after that, I assume, Daru and I escape and form the resistance to which Suzuha belonged.
どれだけ回避しようとしてもダメだった。世界はアトラクタフィールド理論により同じ結末へと収束してしまう。
I tried to save Mayuri, but nothing worked. Every worldline converged on the same result, just as attractor field theory said they would.
それもし全部妄想だったらオカリンはラノベ作家になれると思うお。
You know, if this is all in your head, I think you've got a career as a light novel author ahead of you. Yep, illustrated novels Ah, here we go. Is this the game breaking the fourth wall? Illustrated novels targeted primarily at teenage and young adult males. Cover artwork often depicts cute girls, although light novels can deal with just about any subject matter, Recent years have seen a trend towards stories about teenage boys meeting cute girls and winding up in extraordinary situations. Yep, this is the game breaking the fourth wall. Leave the fourth wall alone.
事実だ。全てだ。
It's true. All of it.
マユリの死を避けるためには
To prevent Mayuri's death. And to free Scissorhar's future from CERN.
アルファ世界線から脱出するしかない。これまでに歪ませた事象を全て取り消すことでそれは可能になると俺は考えている。
We need to escape from the Alpha worldline. And I think we can do that by cancelling all of our changes to the timeline so far.
つまり目指すべきは俺がダルに最初の D メールを送る前のベータ世界線。
That should return us to the Beta worldline. The worldline that existed before I sent that first D-mail.
そこへ到達するためエシロンに捉えられた最初のメールデータをセルンのデータベースから削除しなくてはならないのだ。
There's just one more step. We need to erase the first D-mail from CERN's database. If what Scissorhar said is correct, then erasing that data will take us over 1% divergence and back to the Beta worldline. It was just one short email, barely 36 bytes, but it changed the course of human history. The butterfly effect.
面白いわね。
Fascinating. Karisu mutters as she sips her hot coffee. It looks like she's already recovered from her exhaustion.
マキセ氏は信じるん？
You believe him, Makisashi?
仮説としてはね。できれば客観的データが欲しいところだけど、それはさすがに無理だし。
In theory, I'd like to see objective data, but that's obviously impossible.
安心しろ。お前が改良を施したタイムリープマシンの出来はガチだった。
Relax. Your time leap machine worked perfectly.
当然でしょ。
Of course it did. She doesn't deny it. That's just like Karisu.
それに IBN5100 でのハッキングはもともと予定してたことだし。
Besides, we were already planning to crack CERN's database, weren't we?
とにかくアクセスしてみて、もしそこにメールデータが存在していたなら、岡部の言葉は事実だと証明される。
Fine. Let's see what's in there. If the mail data exists, then it's proof that what you said is true.
要するに考えるな、感じるんだということですね。わかります。
So what you're saying is, don't think, feel. Got it.
逆にわかんないけど。
You lost me.
考えるよりやってみろということだな。
What you meant to say was, don't think, do. Daru extracts his massive body from the space behind the desk, plops himself down on the chair, and wipes away his sweat.
つなぎ終わったお。ちょっと設定いじらないとダメだけど、10分しないうちに始められる。
Don't bridging them. I need to tinker with the settings a little, but we should be up and running in about 10 minutes.
よし。
Alright.
それにしても元凶となった最初のメールね。
So the first email started everything.
それってあれでしょ？ ATF で見せてもらったやつ。
Was that the one you showed me at ATF?
私が死んでたとかなんとか。
The one that said I died or something?
そうだ。ラジカンでお前が殺されているのを目撃した俺はダルにそれを伝えるメールを送った。ダルはたまたま電話レンジカッコ仮の実験中で放電現象が起きて。
Yep, he's realised it. He's basically making it so she dies again. Right. I found you dead at Radican and sent Daru an email. Daru happened to be experimenting on the phone wave. Name subject to change. At the time. So the discharge phenomenon occurred and the mail was... My voice trails off. Something is telling me to stop. Fear rises in my chest. A sudden, terrible certainty that I am missing something vital. I frantically replay the conversation in my head. We must cancel all of our changes to the timeline so far. Yep, which means Karisu living. The very first email started it all. The one that said I died or something. Return to the world line that existed before I sent the first email. An icy fist seizes my heart, and I turn to Karisu with a look of pure terror. Our eyes meet. Those eyes of hers no longer show the sharp defiance from when we first met. Instead, they glow warmly with the light of curiosity. What? I was right. I have missed something vital, something dire. I've always wondered why we've not got any more calls. I said it earlier, Strange Queen. I knew that we'd have to get closure on that at some point. You can't put a crumb like that and then not go back to it. It makes no sense. I've been waiting for it to re-emerge. I've actually called it out a few times on the past streams. I've mentioned it quite a few times. It's been annoying me to have not gone back to it. It made perfect sense when you go about changing everything back. It's like, yeah, so I kind of knew she was on the way out. My lack of attachment can be very useful sometimes. The world line I set my sights on to save Mayuri. The world line upon which Scissorhar staked her hope for the future. The world line I am at last poised to reach at the end of this long struggle. On that world line, Mayuri lives. On that world line, CERN fails. And on that world line, on the 8th floor of Radican, Makise Karisu dies. End of chapter? Yep. And I can't think of a more appropriate place for us to leave that hanging. Yes, I'm going to be that guy. Now, this stream, this game, is going to be back early next week. More than likely, it's going to be a week today or a week tomorrow. I've decided that I'm going to park the Thursday evening stream because, of course, on Saturday, 8 PM BST, the current record for my channel is 6.5 hours with the finale of Danganronpa V3. We're going to beat it. We're going to obliterate it. We're going to annihilate it because we're going long. For 24 hours, we're playing Crisis Core and a few other games. Join me there. It's all for charity, raising money as best as possible. But until then, thank you all very, very much for watching. And good night.